What's going on, Tamers? Welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast. I'm your boy, Varni, host of this podcast now. Varni's Card Layer is no more. We have officially completed our rebranding into DigiGuard United, consisting of me, the boy Dan, and the boy Mike. What's up, boys?
Yo, what is good?
What's going on, everyone?
Today in the studio, we've got special guest, Giratina's Gaming, a.k.a. Llance. What's going on, bro?
What's good, guys? Happy to be here.
Y'all see this man's on the Facebook group all the time.
Facts.
This is the boy that we've been name dropping for the last like 4 episodes. I'm always like, yo, my boy Llance said this. Yo, my boy Llance that. I'm like, yo, let's just get Llance on the pod, right? So
yeah, I'm happy to be here. Gotta share some of these insights. Cause wow,
that's the goal. So our topics for today. We have, of course, our locals overview. We're going to be touching on Dan's last weekend Ultimate Cup run. We're going to be touching on a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is the topic of Venusmon / Yellow Hybrids versus Melga in its prime. A yellow hybrid in its prime. And then we're going to be talking about just the state of the game, just in general, just getting an outside party's thoughts, somebody who is unrelated to me, Dan, and Mike, because we generally, Dan, Mike, and I share views. So we're going to see what Llance thinks. Yeah. So we're going to see what Llance thinks. However, before we get into any of that, just want to take this time to say it's been a painstaking last day and a half. I have officially completed, like I said before, our rebranding into DigiGuard United, the YouTube, the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok. We have the Discord up and going. So if you guys are listening to this and you are not part of the Discord, please go into the podcast description, find wherever it has the website link. It should take you to a site called Linktree, where you can find all of our links, and then you can join the Discord there. You can also follow us on all of our other socials so that you'll know when we go live, or when we do our live podcast, and whatever other platform that I post content on. We've already had a good amount of people join today, which is absolutely fantastic to see, because I really did not think that much people listen to us. So I'm not gonna hold y'all. It's absolutely amazing to see. I appreciate every single one of you, and I know Mike and Dan do as well.
Facts.
That being said, let's touch on topic number 1 just real quick, because it doesn't matter for any of us. Sunday was the Digimon Cup. I didn't win it. Mike didn't win it because Mike didn't go. Dan didn't win it.
I was living a better life that Sunday. I was eating salmon for dinner. I was having a good time. Y'all were out there losing to Mark, who doesn't even play the game anymore. But I
got to the finals for our Purple Cup. We had 16 players, right, Varni?
Yeah, we had 16 players.
Yeah. Oh, I know why. Because we had so many first round ties that instead of having 4 rounds, we had 3 rounds. And then every round there was almost a tie. So like it threw off everything when it comes to like placing and stuff.
You know what's so funny?
Placings.
Yo, last week did I not mention? I said people that don't know how to play purple go to time all the time.
That's
so
exactly
funny,
what happened. There was so many ties because people don't know how to play purple at all, and then like they just sit there like twiddling their thumbs. Their card don't know what to do because purple is a thinking game. So I don't remember what Varni played, but I played a Minerva Ogremon Rush type deck. As y'all know, I've enjoyed Ogremon Rush in the past. It's a fun deck. Gain a lot of memory, swing early, sec +1 on Ogremon, trash a card, like get effects. It's always great. So I evolved it to Minerva because Minerva can do similar things in the sense of bringing back, a champion Digimon. It could bring back a rookie. They can give them rush and rush and blocker. So like my idea was like, for example, right? Play a Minerva, play, let's say, double Ogremon, right? For example, the one that was BT5, the one that lets you trash one to pop a Digimon. So I will like trash Skull Greymon, give the effect of Skull Greymon to place underneath a Digimon to give it retaliation. So I will give the other EX01's Ogremon the retaliation. So now it immediately has Rush. So now it's a champion that can have Rush and you swing in for 2 checks because of its effect. And sometimes now that one also trashes the card. Now you just, kind of steamrolling, and usually what will happen in my games, because I run 4 Jack Raids, I run 2-3 Mimis, I run a lot of memory gain, I will go to 10.
Yo.
John Minerva, Digicross, it's still my turn. So I'm like popping off. So that was like the idea of the deck, and it worked well. Except like I just had wild bricks for no reason, even though I had like 11, 12 rookies, but it is what it is. My first matchup was against a Minerva Loop Merva style version. I won that 2-1. Not much to talk about. The guy was just Megiddo flaming the crap out of me and killing his Minerva, and like that was his main plays. So it was hard to like get going, but like once I got going, because my style deck is more aggressive than your usual Minerva deck because of like the Ogremon stuff. Because this like purple color we're playing like Gazis, Psychmon, Impmons because of Beelzemon. There was a lot of weak stuff and insecurity. So like my Ogremon was swinging for the 2 checks and living. And if they don't deal with the next turn, guess what? That's another 2 checks. So I'm just, aggroing people. And sometimes I will start off a little slow because of my terrible bricks I was having. But it worked. Round 2, I played Beelstar, like with the new Beelstar. So they were playing like Avemon Rush Beelstar type. And that went 2-1 also. It would have been 2-0, but game 2. I was going for game. Last check, it was a fly bullet. So I lost because of that.
Excuses.
It is, hey, I won, so I'm just saying. Instead of 2-1, it would have been 2-0. That's all.
You said I would have been undefeated. 2-0.
Because it would have been clean,
Exactly. We like those clean 2-0s, you know what I'm saying? And then I played in the finals against our boy, Mark. He was playing Beelzemon, and I was just kind of too slow at times. And I lost that one 2-1. Because Beelzemon, if you high roll Beelzemon, nothing you could do with it. Especially with the new cards. Yeah. Those new cards are so cracked.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like it's worth mentioning too. Like, Mark's been playing Beelzemon since that deck came out. Like,
so he knows the deck inside out.
He's also probably the best purple player I've ever played against, and he's been out of the game for a while too. Still,
yeah, he's pretty good at purple. So yeah, and then I lost in the finals, and I get 3rd place, which means I didn't get the Winners' Cup Beelzemon because someone else got a tie in round 1 and played a bunch of scrubs for 2 and 3, and because his record was 2-0-1, he got 2nd place. I was salty as a mother, you know what I'm saying? Like how? I was just like, yo, you can't be. I was like, you're some bull. You know what I'm saying? You ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was sick about that because I lost in the finals. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So and then previously I did the OT Cup. Didn't do too bad. I had a winning record, top 128 with Machinejimon. Nothing like too crazy. I played 4 Hydra blue matches, and that was 2-2 split. And then the rest of the decks was like Eosmon. Yo, first round I played a 50 card Eosmon deck.
What? The dream lives on.
Someone did that. I was cracking up. Like, and the worst part, because like that first game I was so slow. I thought I was about to lose until I was able to get to a Machinejimon, because he was just Eosmon swing, play another one, Eosmon. I was like, I can't do anything about this right now. And then I hard play Machinejimon, got everything underneath it, and then I ended up winning just because he couldn't do anything about Machinejimon Analog Man. And so that became a 2-0. Then I versed 2 Hydra Blooms in a row, split those. I played Blue Flare. That was 2-1. Played D Reaper. I couldn't do anything about D Reaper. Like my deck was just way too slow for D Reaper, and they were just punishing, and then they would just hit D Reaper and then GG at that point. What else? I played 2 more Hydra Bloom decks. U-Force. I played he was from that team that Lychee always reps. I forget.
Limit Break.
That group. Limit Break. He was a player from Limit Break, so he was cool, dude. He played U-Force. Almost had him, unfortunately. Never saw the 2K boost or reboot, I think it was. Whatever it was, or reverse. So I couldn't swing over his U-Force at times. And then what else? Oh, and Galamon for like the final round. So nothing like crazy. It's hard when you play a deck that's, runs 16 ultimates, and sometimes you just don't have the right hands.
Yeah, it's just
sometimes you have.
It's
sometimes
wild.
you're even though we're mulligans, just because there's so many ultimates, you just sometimes have the weirdest hands. It's just it's super unplayable until you start seeing an analog man or a rookie for the first one, and then you're able to build and do things. But yeah, I might try again because I'm in the I think me and Varni is doing the Ulti Cup this Saturday coming up. I might try it again and just switch my ultimates, because the Hydra matchups, I felt pretty good with them. I didn't see Metal Mamimon as often as I would like to. I didn't see some other cards because Metal Mamimon pops low play cost 5 or less. So that's really helpful in that matchup. I might just switch around some ratios and try it again, just to see if I can get it going, because I didn't lose badly in those matchups. It was more 2-1s, and then it was just sometimes they just hit it. They I'm sure Llance, how Bloom works. If they pop off, they just pop off, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's probably my most hated green deck. I hate that deck. I hate that deck more than Grandis. And I
hate green, bro. I think I hate Bloom more than I hate any other deck in the format right now.
Damn.
And that is I hate that deck so much. I hate
not having decks in the game is so crazy in a sense of that matchup, because you just hard play decks for free and then GG, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you have to figure out ways around it and stuff.
That deck gets me so mad.
Bloomlord is one of the main reasons I'm not doing that Copium Cup, bro.
May I introduce you to our Lord and Savior, Bloomlord?
Lord and Savior?
I can't play Jesmon, I can't play Death Xmon, but they get Bloomlord who could just essentially do the same thing, and I'm good.
And I just oh man, I play against, shout out to my boy Austin. He plays Bloom. I think he's taking that to his Ulti Cup when he plays. I play against it a lot, and it is just so frustrating, because if you don't have the Death X, it just feels like a L for me. Almost every game. It's just so hard, especially because I've been playing Mastemon, which is the slowest deck ever. Ever. I swear to God, it's so rough sometimes, and it's just damn. If I don't have, I don't know. There's just so many things I would need to be competitive in that matchup. It feels like sometimes.
Yeah, it's for Machinima, I need to have a Chaos Shaman on board, and then with the correct sources in it.
Yeah.
For me to be able to contend with it. Even when I don't, sometimes I can, depending on which Machinima I have, and depending on what the play. If I have multiple analog mans, it's kind of hard for them to deal with it. Because there's no interactions, there's no they don't have any tamer popping abilities, so analog man with a Machinima with full stack going, it's really rough for them. One game I just won because I had BT11 Machinima. They swung. I was redirect Machinima. I don't care if you have piercing. I'm ending your turn and killing your life. Next turn, because effect. Play AX01, gain 5 memory, GG. You know what I'm saying?
Mega Hammer Spark.
Yeah.
Battle Realm, bro.
So they have things to do. It's just you have to find the right the right ultimates, and when you're playing a lot of ultimates, you might not see them at times.
Interesting topic though. What is everyone's least favorite deck in the format? Pre-ban list.
Right now?
In the
current format?
Right now?
Current format.
I'll let Llance go first. He's the guest.
Absolutely Grandis, man.
Grandis?
Okay. Grandis. Like here's my thing about Grandis, right? Like you have, I play red decks, right? And almost everything red, there is nothing you can do about Grandis. Other than like, unless you're running like heavy removal or like praying you have removal and security. I guess other than like Omegamon X from BT5, it feels like the matchup is just theirs. No matter what red deck I play.
Oh yeah.
So like that's probably my most like hated. But like at least arguably in Jessamon, like I can get GX high enough and swarm the field of potentially 6 other bodies, and then they can't get through me for game. But like I think every other red deck, I just feel like this is not worth playing.
Yeah. I as an Examon player, Black War Gray. And only Black War Gray because of Dan. Like, I could probably body any other Black War Gray player. I can't body Dan. It just doesn't happen, bro. The Digivolve and then the board presence that he establishes. Honestly, it's probably not Black War Gray. It's probably just Dan. I probably just hate Dan.
I was gonna say,
I'm gonna say, because I hate the Examon matchup as Black War Gray. So I was like, Dan got the
I enjoy it. I don't know, like I said in the previous podcast, and when it comes to that matchup specifically, and I count like the mirror match too for Black War Greymon, I think of those matchups as more of like chess game. And so like I used to play chess heavy, so like I'm able to think like multiple plays ahead, and maybe some other people do or don't. I don't know. But I'm sure like the players who win a lot, they can do that too. But like when it comes to like Examon, I'm always having one and chill in the back, and I prefer to actually like build my stack that hard play. Like if I have, let's say, first hand goes, you always Digivolve Agumon in the back, preferably maybe like the promo, the 2K boost. But if I have like a searcher on board, if I can play a searcher, I'm playing that, and I'm not even doing it. I'm not touching that, and I'm just going to evo that until like a Metal Greymon or even Black War Greymon, and I'm going to make sure I have X antibody underneath. And so when they do get, they're guaranteed Examon's coming out no matter what. Like people like, I'm just going to not worry about, no. You need to be prepared for Examon Slayermon to happen, because if you don't, you're losing every single time. Because now that Black War Greymon stack, or even Metal Greymon stack, has X antibody. So when they do their Examon plays, Examon, they DNA, play Slayermon, put a Breakdramon underneath their stack, whatever. When my turn starts, effect, force me attack. Oh, I'm a raise? You're gonna force me attack? Great. Affect the X antibody when attacking. Digivolve to Galmon. Digivolve your stack. Swing over it. Like plays like that. Or even if I'm at a Galmon or Black War Greymon, if I have BT11 Omnimon X, swing, Digivolve to that. Guess what happens? It's bottom decked. And then I'm trashing security, and depending on what the board state looking like, I can also attack the security, or choose to attack Slayermon. So I always think like that. So I'm always like extra prepared for that matchup. Obviously, your hand has to be, playable. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'll hard play it. I'll be telling you, Varni, when we play testing, I'm like, I break. You probably gonna have this. My first play, going first, I'm hard playing Greymon, and sometimes that just works because I have everything else to build up, and as long as I could get that X antibody going underneath it, I'm fine. So like,
and Dan always pulls into his pieces. I think he stacks his deck. That must be what it is.
I wish.
If I did for nationals, shit, I would have been top if that was the case.
Yeah, you did.
If breaking was such a thing.
Bro. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Because I'm like, sometimes I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. If he has it, he has it, right? Always has it. There's no shot. There's no universe that he does it.
Yeah, that's
the funny part. I wish I played Examon players at Nats, because I would have bodied them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I did. But speaking of that, it was so funny. Like, there was a post. Someone posted how they won locals with Black War Greymon X, and their matches was Examon. And in the comments they said, "Yo, I was like, how'd you beat Examon?" They were like, "How'd you beat Examon?" I was just like, it's not that unwinnable. Like I don't understand. So
yeah, I'm like, it's not that hard. Like if you
raise your stack and then it dies when Xmon, forces you to swing. I'm like, bro, like if you know how to play the matchup, like you can beat it, no problem. Like I was just, and they were just going back and forth with it. I was just cracking up about it.
Mike, what's your?
They hate that deck in that group.
I already said. I think Bloom's my least favorite.
Well, in the meta, technically, Bloom isn't in the meta.
How is Bloom not in the meta?
They will tell you it's not in the meta, Mike. Remember the Dex comment?
That's like
remember the Dex comment? Do you want me to bring it back up? Because I'll bring it up.
When someone tries to tell me like Grandis hasn't been tier 1 since it came out. Like
Grandis is a rogue
What was that about? Yeah,
facts, bro. Like I don't like just because it's not winning. Like and now I mean we have side deck tournament.bandai going on right now, bro.
For real, bro. Like what?
Tier 1 right now, bro.
Yeah, it definitely is 100%.
God.
My hated deck.
Yeah, what's yours, Dan? I wonder if you have one.
No matter what, I still hate it. I just hate seeing it. No matter what, it's goddamn Melga.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair, bro. Nah, I'm with
someone who like played Black Girl Greymon since day one. Since I played, Red deck since day one. I played. Yeah. I don't know why. I just never touched that deck. Like I have everything. I have 4 promo Guru, 4 Gurus. I just hate that deck. Like I could play it myself, no problem. I just don't want to touch it. It's just gross to me. God, I hate it. It doesn't even matter that Black Girl. It doesn't even matter if Black Girl Greymon X has a good matchup against. The moment I see them flip that Sunama, I'm just like. God, I better hope I get Black Girl Greymon X out ASAP because if I don't, I might lose.
It's what it boils down to.
Yeah, but what's worse is like you'll be playing them as Black Girl Greymon, and then they'll flip Sunamon, and then they'll be complaining up and down about what you're playing.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
And then they start swinging at level 5, and you don't even got a rookie yet. Like, yo, come on, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, hit this Hades Force, bro.
You can hold this L, dog.
I'm still surprised that like Melga didn't really do much in Nationals because Melga could still just raise promo Garuma and do their full combo and beat a Black or Greymon if they don't have a Black or Greymon XL. Like it's not that hard for them to do. Me and Varni was doing it, and like I like was slow with it. He had everything off the rip, raise promo, swing game. I was like shelving it up. Next game too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I gotta say, as horrible as that deck is, like I 100% agree, bro. I swear, I have like just deck curse or something, dude. I just have cursed luck. I don't know what it is.
He breaks like a mother.
Melga first, like when we first got BT9, I think I won our first BT9 tournament with it. Right, and that was before everyone knew it was like absolutely gonna destroy everything because Japan didn't really have Melga, like so we didn't know what it was gonna be like in our meta. I won the first tournament with it. I was like, this thing's busted. I was like, this deck's crap. That deck has bricked on me every game since. I'm not even like
it's basically Mastemon for me.
When I see anyone else play that deck is like a turn 3 win, like always. Me, bro, I'm opening hand bricks. It's just I might as well have literally just been building a house or something. It's literally just bricks. I don't know how. I don't know why. Like I've even tried to like I don't ever do this, but I even net decked it trying to like I was like it's gotta be me, bro. Like it can't just be like no, just bad luck. I don't know what it is.
Your luck with Melga is my luck with Mastemon. That's pretty much what it is.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I've played a lot of Mastemon. I don't think it's your luck, bro. I think it's just that freaking deck, man.
Yo, that was a mistake, bro. I don't care what anyone says. She was a mistake. I think she should have been 3 costs.
Oh, me and Varni's been talking. I think the most she should have been is 4 because look what Yuya does, bro. He costs 4. He's a memory setter. He makes you invulnerable to options.
He's a DP boost.
Oh, he's
like she should have been. No, I agree.
ADP, like it's just crazy.
I agree. They did her dirty with Mirai. They made her an SR, gave her a bomb ass alt art, and then made her trash. Yeah. Like she could have been 3 or 4 costs and been made the deck so good. Like,
I mean, they could have easily just switched it. They could have easily just switched like her effect instead of just gaining one every turn. Just been like a memory setter and put it at 4. It would have been perfectly fine.
Something, bro. I get it. Like people's arguments are gonna be like, oh well, she drops a 5 cost for free. I'm sorry, sir. Do you know what I have to go through to get that set up? I don't think you understand.
Like, you have to go through a lot for it.
I think
it feels like this. The deck is faster and slower at the same time. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, when you get a really good hand, it feels awesome.
Yeah.
The issue is that happens so little with that deck, and it's because it needs so much though. And I told Dan and Varni this like in our group chat. I said this is the only deck I've like ever played in Digimon where I wish I could add more cards to it. Like I wish I could add more things into that deck to try and make it work better because it's such a limiting tight build space right now.
Like in BT8, what was good was like you could throw so many 1-ofs in it, and like you'd still see them. Like so in BT8, like I felt like way more of a threat with the deck versus like now, like I feel like man, like I hope I open the right 5 cost card because if I open Mirai, I'm like, come on.
Don't get me wrong,
and then you got
that works. It's fire.
You also gotta like choose between, let's say, if your only options is Gatomon and Mirai to play turn 1. Now you gotta choose which one you think is more important. And that's also always a rough
hurts.
One too.
I really think that they should have given us a new Gatomon, and the new Gatomon should have dropped Mirai. Like it should have probably still been a 3 to Digivolve. No cost reduction, just drop Mirai or drop any yellow tamer. I guess I would say just something because. Dropping Mirai for 5 hurts. I mean, I always hit Mirai in the security against Mike. I don't know what it is. Mike stacks the deck against me. But
I'll tell you what though, that's the main I'll say right now, that's one of the biggest issues with Mastemon is that if your security doesn't have something, you lose the game automatically.
Yeah, it's so wild, right?
If you don't have something there, you have automatically lost.
And it's not even like you'll never see 13k Mastemon, right? Like you're always gonna see like Gatomon, a rookie, 2 rookies probably, Devimon, and some other weenie.
10 rookies you're running, 5 of them are there. Like, I don't know.
It's so stupid. You run what? 5 tamers. You run probably 3 to 4 chaos degrade, 2 to 3 hell scythe, maybe some mem boost. None of that's insecurity, bro. None of that. Not even big bodies in Mastemon. Like,
not only are none of those good pieces insecurity, they're not in my hand either. All right.
No facts
in there. They're lucky that they made such beautiful art for all those cards because at least I get to stare at them in my hand when I got nothing else to play.
Right.
I spent good money on.
Yeah, literally, I'm like, oh, this is where all my.
I guess in 13 we could try some crazy stuff, right? We can run the 13
I don't know.
Geo Greymon to Digivolve and then search security for Mirai and see how that works.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It lets you. Yeah.
It just. I mean, it's. Yo. I saw you post. Yeah. I saw my boy Llance in a post today.
No.
This post, I mean, he wasn't flaming anybody today. He was civil today. But what do you think? You think Shine's getting hit before it comes over here?
Oh yeah, bro. I've dropped all expectations. You know what? Like when you look at like the way things have been going since BT10, like I've dropped all expectations. For as far as like being able to play like good decks. So like from now on, like I'm just kind of looking at whatever the second good deck is. Like whatever's in second place, I'm looking forward to it. Cause like that's crazy. Like it's like Shine is doing good right now, but like we already got
he's doing way more than good. It's like doing like next level good.
Broken. And then Black War Greymon and War Grey got hit. So like it's gonna be doing even better. Like it doesn't have any reason to like to lose. Like Marcus turns sideways, you Digivolve up the whole line, you swing through the security with this tamer. Like it's mad disrespectful. Like we're not gonna get to play it like at all.
Bro,
I gotta say though, I don't disagree. I do think that Shine is gonna get hit. But I don't think it's gonna get hit before it gets here. I think they're gonna let us buy boxes.
Oh yeah.
Like
of course.
They're gonna do the cross shenanigans again.
Yeah,
well, cross and Black or Gray. I mean, we got all of BT11. Yeah. Y'all went to nationals with it. Y'all saw it wasn't the tier 0 deck everybody thought it was, and they were still like, so we gonna hit Greymon X. You know what? You know what the part about it was, Lance? I was telling them last week, I was like, they said they hit this card because of BT12 Metal Greymon, which is what you said in the group. If BT12 Metal Greymon was a problem, hit BT12 Metal Greymon.
That would have been perfect.
But you end up not killing, but you do end up very heavily hitting.
Slow down the deck.
Yeah, slowing down Black or Gray in the current meta. And like, as much as I hate Black or Gray because of Examon, I mean, I said it last week. We're not going to talk about it too much, but we didn't need a ban list if the only card that was going to get hit was Greymon X.
Facts.
We could have went the entire meta and it would have been fine. And all the all the whiners.
What was this so weird? It almost sounded like you were going to say a different word.
I had to censor myself. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was so weird.
All the
Say
whiners.
that one more time, Varni?
Yeah, that was so weird. Yeah.
No, nobody's going to rewind this on YouTube to see the consonant that came out of my mouth. No.
Yeah. All right.
All the whiners who are complaining that Black or Gray's tier 0 and that you can't beat it, this, that, the other, you'd have seen it'd have been like, remember BT8 when we got all them new decks and everybody was playing it, and then as Mike said, everybody said, yo, wait, Blue Hybrid's still good, and they go back to playing Blue Hybrid. Not that Black or Gray would have like dropped off like that, but like you would have seen, I think you would have seen the same variety of decks. I mean, yeah. I think the game was in its healthiest state. Can't say that now because Greymon X is
I think it was super healthy. Like we were talking about for the last couple podcasts, Lance. Like I think the game was actually in a good state. Like because Black or Greymon, it's not the dominant force that everybody thought it was. The fact that you had all these other decks that was able to compete with it in the current meta, we even saw in the nationals, top 32. There was a wide variety. I mean, you had the nice chunk of Black or Greymon, as expected, right? Because that's normally what every meta is. The number one deck has the most spots. But you saw the variety of like different decks in previous formats. We saw 4 decks at times.
Yeah.
Top 32, top 16. You know what I'm saying? So like the fact that people thought like it was that much of a problem is like, is it though?
And what's crazy is like when you look at the meta right now, like it's not your Black or Greymon X, right? But then like Black or Greymon X is still losing to even like they made it a menace right over Tamers, right? But you have Tamer based decks that are capping this deck. Like,
bro,
and I'm
that was my whole point.
I gotta say,
Crossheart was slapping Black or Gray up.
Crossheart is just eats it up, and now that you're a turn or two slower, Crossheart just takes that match. Like you got Crossheart, you got Murdercross, you got All Force that like they're good. They run so many Tamers, you kill 2 or 3, they already slapping down 3 more arena.
They didn't even care.
It's like. Yeah. Like if I could understand if literally no decks could be played and this was actually the tier 0 menace that people projected, but like bro, we didn't even like it didn't
we ain't even have a chance.
I mean, yo, for real though, like
I'll say this.
Dan, you go.
I was gonna say like the crazy people like go to the extremes when it comes to tier 1 decks. I don't think Digimon has had an actual tier 0 format. People gonna say blue hybrid, whatever. I don't think it was that much tiers. It was just that it was represented so much and it was like so crazy. But to me, that deck strength was like tier 0 or even like Lord Nightmon. When we had that back then, I still don't even think that was tier 0. It was tier 1, obviously, and obviously best deck in the format. But like, I don't think Digimon has been that like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you have formats where it was legit tier 0 formats. Like
so now you compare
31 decks were 31 decks were that one deck. Like that's happened in other card games. We have not been in that situation, to me, in my opinion, where it was like obviously tier 0. Like, and the fact that people were saying Black or Greymon tier 0, y'all bugging. No, like, it was never there.
Yeah, I'll say, bro, could you imagine, like, legit though, like what you're saying? People don't even understand what it's like to have a card that is so valuable. People will say, oh, Death Exmon this. Bro, let me tell you about a card called Dark Arm Dragon. All right.
Oh my God.
When that card came out, you literally couldn't play the game unless you owned that card.
Yeah.
That's how crazy that card was. The entire format and meta shifted to that card. The game was unplayable unless you had those cards.
If you wasn't playing Teledad for that format, like it was you were losing.
Like, crazy. Crazy.
And the same thing with like Spirals became tier 0. Like if you was not playing that deck, you was losing no matter what, because that deck was just so busted.
Spell
if you were
books.
playing exactly.
Yeah, like
oh my god,
crazy.
I don't remember the Dragons deck. I forget what it's called at the moment.
Blow up bulbs.
Oh, wind up rabbits.
Yo, like, come on, man. It was too much. That deck was wild.
But anyways, but like yeah, like it's so funny how like people were talking about Black or Greymon, how it needed to get hit, but like it's probably the least strongest best deck in the format. In each format. Like you obviously had, you know, Blue Hybrid as a best deck in the format. You had, you know, Lord Nightmon, Gabubons, Alphamon, question mark. I don't know if you want to put Alphamon or
I can't even just say Alphamon because you know what? Alphamon like Black or Greymon here, Alphamon, it felt like when it got there, it was unwinnable, right? It felt like when it got there, it was an unanswerable OTK. It definitely was, but it needed so much setup that in comparison to all these other decks we're naming that have been like the arguably tier best deck in the format, like Alphamon just wasn't there. It feels like they keep hitting the decks that are like when they get there after so much time versus the ones that are actually the stronghold representation.
Right. And Black or Greymon probably has the most worst, like has like more like bad matchups than like all those other best deck in the format decks at their time span. So it was like, was it really like even like needed at this point? I don't really think it was needed. I think if you talk about like BT12, understandable. You know what I'm saying? When we get there, it will be understandable to me. I understand because of how good the card is, but like, come on. You're not gonna touch anything else? Nothing?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean, when I think about it, bro, I always think of like Blue Hybrid when it would go into a tournament and 75% representation was Blue Hybrid.
Of the top 8 or the top 16, it'd be like, yo, like,
and like that's not like of the whole tournament. I mean, I'm talking about like you take top 32 and 75% is Blue Hybrid. That is a deck that needed to be hit. Like, you know what I mean? Like
even Yellow Hybrid in BT8 was crazy. Like I remember going to when we went to what was that Origins Game Fest last year. It was like every match, every table, like there was at least more than half of the table was Yellow Hybrid. Like it's like that was It's crazy to see like what people complain about. Like they're not complaining about the stuff that really feels oppressive. It's like they complain about the stuff that's just good. Like when it gets there, you know, like did something somewhere else. Yep. Like I would have felt better if Bandai threw him a bone and hit Cool Boy. Even though Cool Boy, in my opinion, didn't need to get hit at all. I would have felt better if they hit that over Greymon X. Just because now they took away our speed and now we're reliant on that card, which isn't even made for the deck. Like, so, like...
Facts.
I was going to say, you want to talk about cards that shouldn't have been hit? Let's talk about my girl Jet Sophie-mon.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Let me tell you why Jet Sophie got hit, right? You know what JP players were doing? As soon as a new yellow Mega came out, okay, so can I play this with my Jet Sophie-mon?
Exactly
so
what they
I
did.
can Digivolve on this with my Jet Sophie-mon? Wow, they would come out with the whole line. Bruh, Venusmon's entire line came out. And you know what they played? Yellow Hybrid.
Exactly. So Kuriyamon made Mo came out, bro. And a whole
Yellow
line.
Hybrid. I'm like, Kuriyamon, bro. Yellow Hybrid into Sunrise Buster. Put this at the top of my deck. Like, bro, like, come on. Like, it was literally, can I put this Mega on my Jet Sophie-mon? Like, for 4 and make it 4 cost or 5 cost versus the 3 that it was supposed to be. Like, I understand that one. Like, they argue.
I cannot lie. I cannot lie. That's very 150% true. I remember looking at lists, like even going into BT9, I was like, oh wow, BT9, cool. What can I use? I can just play Ophanimon in my deck. That means I can go into Jet Sophie, recover, Ophani recover, die, play back a hybrid, and repeat the process.
Exactly.
Like I'm with you. Like, I understand that point. That Yellow Hybrid was a toxic deck.
All this stack at the bottom of the deck is fine. And we're gonna keep going until we run out of shit.
Hey, Dan made a point. Think about it. We didn't even, like, everybody who complained about Yellow Hybrid, we didn't even have Yellow Hybrid at its true prime, which was them playing MDF.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get that.
That was...
it was all three of them. It was red, yellow, and blue that were playing it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Wow.
Especially blue.
Especially blue, yep.
Tommy was a menace, though.
Hybrid power.
Tommy was a menace.
Tommy needed to go. He needed to die. That car needed to go.
He needed to go so fast. Bro. My favorite play was just Digivolving into a Black or Greymon killing 2 Tommies. Like that was like satisfaction to me.
Yeah, that was satisfying. Like, he was still a menace, but that was satisfying. Like,
yeah, fact.
Nah, but let's talk about something real quick. Outside opinion, Llance, full power Yellow Hybrid versus Melga. What's your thoughts on that matchup? And I say full power, not with MDF, just 4 Jet Sophie.
Jet Sophie.
So without 4 reinforced memory boosts too?
Just one.
Yeah, correct. Because that was hit at the same time as MDF, right?
MDF, I think.
Yeah. I think
oh my goodness gracious! How could I forget about reinforcing? That's
that was one of the best.
Without four reinforcing. Correct.
Okay. So like if you got 4 Jet Sophie and you still have 4 Sunrise Buster, I honestly think if we're in BT10 format, I think Yellow Hybrid takes that. Mm-hmm. I think Yellow Hybrid takes that because of the utility you get out of security. Like you're still gonna play. I don't even know if you since you can run 4 Sunrise Buster, I don't even know if you'd still run Wyvern Spread. Like,
nope.
I don't think.
Why run an 8 cost option?
I don't think you still would. I don't know what you're like. Because if you're playing into main mode, you're playing Sunrise for free anyway. You don't need to worry about the color source. So I don't think. I think Yellow Hybrid would take that. Just the amount of utility that you can put in security and how consistent the recovery was. I don't think Melga would have got through security, and it already had a tough time with SetCon. I mean, they had to literally you had to literally flame Hell Scythe or Chaos Degrade every single Where Garurumon promo in order to get that matchup. But I don't think Yellow Hybrid would lose that if it was at full.
So
I gotta say real quick. Not only would they have all of those, you're also forgetting. I think people in Japan were still playing the old. It was BT5 Sakuyamon, where if you raise that security, you were losing second.
Yeah, so and then you were losing the body the next turn. So it's like
so you couldn't even you couldn't really Melga combo if you had sec minus already.
Yeah, I don't think there's a world Melga could have won that.
So I only bring it up because I mean Mike and I have gone back and forth on it, but it's not because of Mike that I bring it up. I was having this debate with Leppy the bear. Shout out to you. I saw you joined the Discord, I believe, but I know you watched the podcast, you listened to it, so you're gonna hear me. But now I can actually articulate everything that I'm trying to say. So basically, their argument was that they said Venusmon is too slow for the Melga matchup, and I was like, current Venusmon is too slow. Arguably, in a way, current Venusmon is too slow for the Melga matchup because the most effective way to play the deck is to use the Anjewomon and Gatomon package, and that's a heavy package. So, because Gatomon digivolves for 3, or you play it for 5, and you need to see an Anjewomon, and typically you want to go Anjewomon X. It can definitely be slow, but Yellow Hybrid Venusmon is a completely different story because, as Llance said, Yellow Hybrid at the time was literally, what's the best level 6s that I can use right now? And in BT10, I will tell you what the deck consisted of. They played 4 to 6 rookies, whatever was helpful to their cause. Their 8 hybrids. They played 3 Venusmon, sometimes 2 to 3 Sakuyamon Maid Mode, 2 to 3 Dexmon, 4 Sunrise Buster, 2 to 3 Holy Flame, and their Tamers.
Yeah, What do you do to that?
I was gonna say you don't get past that because all you need is Sunrise, Buster, and Holy Flame. Holy Flame, I'm gonna stop you from swinging. Holy Flame, or Sunrise, I'm deleting you. And if you try to go wide, Dexmon, I'm deleting you. Like the deck was super oppressive, so stupidly. The only deck that actually, well, granted, Japan didn't have access to the where Garurumon promo, or not. It wasn't Japan. Somebody said something. I don't remember.
It was.
It's just that
some of the other countries there.
Yeah, so like
India, China didn't have access.
Yeah, so Melga wasn't widely accessible, so it just generally wasn't played. The only deck that used to kick Yellow Hybrid's ass was Cross Hearts, which is funny because you would think that it can't, but that's how good Cross Heart was.
Yeah,
like Cross Heart was really good, not busted. I mean, arguably, we can talk about that, but it was really good.
It was really good. It was like what you could turn three OTK. What we first turn tie,
cross 4,
next turn
delete, unsuspend,
like,
cross 4, delete, unsuspend.
So stupid.
Rinse and repeat. But yeah, so to you, Leppy. So what I was saying is that Yellow Hybrid. The implications of Yellow Hybrid getting hit is shown in the meta. The only yellow deck that tops isn't a yellow deck, it's a yellow-purple deck, and it doesn't top because I believe there were 3 out of 100, out of the top 100 Mastemon players who got top 100 or top 128, no yellow decks in the top 32. We see Yellow Hybrid with like Shakumon or Rise Gray make it every now and then, but it's not the same because recovery on legs for 1 as a level 5 and then getting into your level 6 is busted. I mean, that's just what it is. Venusmon was really good. Maid mode was really good in that deck. And even BT5 Sukuimon was really good. So I just want to say that that's my point about why I think Yellow Hybrid has the edge in that matchup.
I'll add on to it though. It just feels like, yeah, I definitely see it having the edge, but also people were just running ADP in Melga for a little bit because of security control.
So if you didn't have like a good hand, a fast enough hand to get to a Venusmon, to get to a Sukuimon, I do think that they would just run through you still. That's a given for sure. If you don't get the Venusmon on board, like you're probably done. But that's my point. Like once you get Venusmon on board, it's GG. As Melga, you don't do anything. You can't do anything. The only thing you can do is cock breath the Venus, only to give them fodder to put another Venus out, which screws you even more.
I think people would like it if that was the case, and like those formats were like, if we had both of those cards back in our meta right now, like those decks, I think people would probably play Melga slower against that matchup because they could just wait for the Venusmon like global effect to wear off and then raise the following turn and then go burr. Like, it would probably give them time to set up the tamer and the ADP.
But here's the problem.
The only problem when it comes to that is that the moment they digivolve that promo where Garurumon, it gets sec +1 and then
that's the problem. So that's the whole argument. The fact that you have built-in sec +1 worse than not worse. Yeah, no, it is worse because in Greymon decks you can get around your sec +1 because you don't have to digivolve into the starter deck Greymon. But your main level 5, the only one you want to go into is sec +1 as an inheritable, meaning the moment you digivolve and you have 8 or more cards in hand, which is almost always true, you're done. You can't activate your unattackings, you can't unsuspend, you can't bounce the Venusmon, you can't even remove it with a level 7 because that's also shut off. Like, it's a generic sec +1 inheritable and Venusmon just says, haha, blop. That's, I mean, sure, you can try to play the long game, but the long game doesn't help. It's basically, you gotta bum rush them. It's just what it boils down to. And yeah, sometimes you're not fast enough, or they're not fast enough to respond to you, but that's a matchup I think is like 65-35 in Yellow Hybrid favor.
I definitely have to play it, but yeah, I do think that it probably has the edge. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What I'm hearing is that what I'm hearing is that we have 2 YouTube videos coming up now that we have matchups we gotta test out.
I'm telling you, full power tournament, bro. We should get a full
that would be a fun Ultimate Cup. That would be a blast.
That would be great.
Facts.
I would sign up for every Ultimate Cup ever if I
got a full power tournament. What? I'd love. I want to see what
would you play?
I want to see what the best of the best.
What would you play?
So
what brainstorm?
Honestly, because my boy Ari was saying he's considering putting it out for True Champs games. I would honestly between Jesmon full power right now, right, without the BT 13 stuff. Between Jesmon full power, I think honestly I would probably go with Jesmon, or you can do some cheeky stuff with purple now with Eismon being at 4. I can do a kind of
you mean Eismon and calling
with Eismon and MDF at 4, or even
MDF.
Yeah, another Daemon loop. You can do red hybrid with MDF. I'm just there's a lot of there's a lot you can do if in that kind of tournament. So I'm I don't know, a full power event would be kind of sick. I think Bloomlord would be a menace, but
oh my goodness gracious!
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine 4 HPD with Bloom, bro?
Yeah, that's
the turn that never ends. It's Green Alphamon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but then some people were saying they think Alphamon would just take that. I'm I don't think so.
No.
I don't know.
Definitely
imagine Blue Hybrid. Imagine Blue Hybrid with the free MD with the free Susano plays
and the 4 Tommies.
And the 4 Tommies.
Yeah.
You just come on. Nah, I don't think.
Could you also imagine, bro, Mega Digimon Fusion though with X antibody cards now too?
Yeah.
Oh no.
You got Cool Boy who's a white tamer.
No.
That's your MD.
I didn't even think about that.
These are the toxic thoughts.
Could you just imagine the decks? I would be more excited for the decks that no one knows about.
Dude, BT1 Omni, bro. BT1 Omni would be good.
Yeah, bro.
Sheesh.
That's not bad.
I mean, it definitely sounds like fun. Which, as you speak of it, quick shout out to True Champ Games and Ari. If y'all don't know, Ari, I can't pronounce Ari's last name, so I'm not going to try to butcher it. But Ari is basically the head of True Champ Games, and he does an absolute fantastic job of it. We actually, Mike and I have not their deck box, but they are the ones who helped push this whole Dualian TV situation. There it is.
Yeah,
they're the ones who helped push this whole Dualian TV situation with the deck boxes together. He got them manufactured. He got them sent out to people. He even had extras to sell, which is how Mike and I picked ours up. And overall, he's just a great presence in the community and a great, I would say, mini TO. Y'all heard me mention Guy Force Gaming and True Champ Games last time. They're mini TOs because their tournaments are very well known in the community. They have great pricing support. They have great products. It's just, if you're not a part of their community, look up True Champ Games or join the Facebook group and just look for them. It's an absolute blast to be a part of, and their tournaments are always popping. It's our quick content creator shout out. Well, not content creator, but our quick community shout out. Anyways, Llance.
Yeah.
It's time for the topic of the day. The topic of the day is, what do you think about the state of the Digimon card game? We kind of already talked about it in a way, but let's elaborate on it.
I think the game is. I think it's in a great place. As far as,
do you think it's dying?
I definitely not dying. I think
those clowns.
I think Bandai's trying to do a little bit too much at once. With the between this game, One Piece, they're still trying to keep DBS alive.
Yeah, they really are.
They're trying so hard to keep that game alive to the point that they just introduced their online client. But I mean, who knows how that's gonna go, right? We were excited to hopefully hear about that for Digimon, but I think that's gonna follow the same trend.
We've been waiting for a year now.
It's only if we're gonna die, they probably gonna throw that out there. But between One Piece and then you got Battle Spirits coming out, and then they got that what is it? I think it's a Shonen
Union Arena
thing. Yeah, that's what Union Arena. I think they're trying to do a little bit too much. But the game itself, I think, is in a good place. I think it was very well designed so that you're not spending too much on building decks So while they've been hoeing us these last couple sets, like it hasn't been like thousands of dollars in hoeing. You know what I mean? Like it's been kind of still worth it to be able to revisit other cards without like feeling that strain. Like damn, now I got to spend a couple $100 on this next best thing to play. So I think it's in a decent place, but I do think that what they need to do is stop executing decks after they get released in the Western side. I think that if they're gonna, I think that kills communities because people start losing faith in what they look forward to playing, especially if we're gonna be able to see. The internet is so popular, social media is a menace. So like we're gonna be able to see what things are coming out in the future. We're gonna be able to continue to see how things are performing in Japanese meta. So I think it is unfair to the consumer for us to be super excited about certain things, be able to get them and play them for essentially a few weeks, and then get told, okay, you can't play this card anymore. So I think they should either do kind of like a separate the list, or they should do what they did back in BT6. Some of the hits they had, they were future dated.
They were staggered.
Yeah, they were future dated, and I think that would be more fair, because then we know, hey, this card is coming out. Just don't invest too much in that card, or don't invest too much in that deck. Play something else. I think that would keep the game on top. But the game is in a healthy place. There's always been a lot to play. Well, at least since I want to say BT9, a.k.a. in my opinion, the greatest set of all time. I think there's been a lot to play. I think that winning doesn't feel like it's leaning in one card or one deck's fate. So I think the game is very good, since like it used to be only 3 decks of format. I think back in EX1 format, it was EX1 format, and before it was always just the top 3 decks. So we had Gabumon.
Top 3? You mean top 1? Oh,
yeah, well,
top one with a high roll. Top one.
Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah, top 1. Gabumon was the deck. Yeah, that's right. Gabumon was the deck, and then you had
because even with Lord Knight, it was powerful Lord Knight, and then high roll Jessamon.
Yeah, like I don't remember what the third one was for BT6 EX1, but I know it was kind of Gabumon, Jessamon, and there was one more.
It was anything that played Eismon, because Eismon was at 4.
Fair enough. Either Lilith Loop, or you could argue Setcon.
Probably Loop, yeah.
Because Setcon just lost to Jessamon so easily. And then you had BT5, yeah. You had Lord Knight, you had Chaos Gallant, you had what was the third one? I think that was Setcon too. Though. Chaos Gallant was a fun deck.
Yeah, it was Setcon. It was a fun, but it wasn't like doing anything though.
It wasn't crazy, but it had a decent matchup into Lord Knight. So like I thought that was pretty good. But BT4, you had Yellow War Gray, you had the purple Metal Garurumon promo.
Remember that menace of a card?
That was a good card. Yeah, that was real good.
It's still a good card. Yeah. I've seen we have some people that were like testing like weird shit, and like Pulsemon was Darren was with the Pulsemon tribal deck. He threw in the War Greymon and it just like flew so fluently with it, and he like was able to get games with it.
But like comparing this format and like everything after BT6 to before BT6 and EX1, I think now we're in a healthier place. There's just so much more to play per format. You don't have just 3 decks. That's just how 10 plus decks.
That's just the growth of the game in general, of course, because our card pool wasn't that big. Yeah. So when more sets come out, more card pool, more like just decks in general. So like, I think it's just a progression of the game just growing from like card pool wise. Just that naturally what is happening.
Yeah. I've played DBS. I started playing DBS with like right before Zenkai.
What a traitor, Llance. Hey. Yo, he had like months where he wasn't showing up for Digimon, but he was playing Dragon Ball. I was like, you disgusting.
Yeah, you got a couple players like that out here too, yeah.
Going for months playing Dragon Ball. Does DBS have does any other Bandai card games have separate ban lists for like Japan and US?
So it's weird because DBS isn't played in Japan. DBS is a strictly English game because Japan has I think it's Dragon Ball Superheroes.
Yeah.
Superheroes, yeah.
They have that. So that's Japan's card game, which is an entirely different thing. Digimon was obviously Bandai's second thing. So, but it was their first game, coming from, before DBS, probably Naruto was the last one. So it's their first game since Naruto, basically. Well, I don't even know if Naruto was a thing in Japan because I don't know anything about that.
I don't think Naruto was Naruto a Bandai game? I thought it was by somebody else.
No, it was a Bandai game. It was Bandai.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
I just don't know if it was a thing in Japan. However, I'm pretty sure Digimon is their first in years game that is both Japanese and English, with Japanese premiering first and then English. And off of that success, then we got One Piece, and now we're getting Battle Spirits, which is a little weird only because it's Battle Spirits in Japan, but Battle Spirits Saga over here, which is an entirely new game, but they're obviously reusing everything from Battle Spirits and yeah.
It's weird for me that their advertising is so hard as like it's cash. There's so much in cash prizes. I'm like, that can't be good.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm looking forward to Battle Spirits just because it looks like Yu-Gi-Oh! Before Yu-Gi-Oh! Got really toxic. And I really enjoyed that.
Quick pause. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been like toxic. I got Yada locked when I was like 6 years old, bro.
Yo, facts.
I was just trying to have a good time.
Always been toxic.
But we loved it. We loved the toxicity.
Yeah. It looks like there's so much that goes into like deck building and the complexity of the game that it looks really interesting. The only thing is that like it's my argument of why I don't understand what they do with Digimon. Like I know the importance of having TOs, but Bandai they don't take care of their TOs sometimes. They really give them the shaft, and I mean this isn't like it's a Bandai event that's happening in Vegas this weekend, but I'm pretty sure it's Play TCG that's all like behind the scenes running the event. And like the difference, right, is that like Konami, they handle their events. Although I heard someone say that Konami didn't do that in their first few years. Magic also didn't do that in their first few years. But like all the big ones now, Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, they run their own events. And I'm not saying that Bandai has to do that, but you damn sure have to give your TO some motherfucking respect, bro. Like they need help running the event in terms of cost. They need help running the event in terms of staff, because sometimes it's just a logistical nightmare for one TO to handle that. I mean, I look back at freaking Anime North that I went to with for regionals last year, and it was a logistical nightmare in that like I hate the fact that we had to buy a pass to get into the event, and people were late because they couldn't get passes. I mean, even Mario had that problem. And then, there was just so much that went into it that Bandai really could have done a better job in helping their TOs. So you have to, like, I look at that and I'm like, I hope that with Battle Spirits, like, you learn something, which I was actually saying this on Twitter the other day, I think with Joe Dobby. It's weird how Bandai has these 3 English games and it's 3 completely separate things. Like none of the teams look at each other and say, oh, hey, look, this worked. Let's try that. And I say that because like one thing he said was that we need like serialized prize cards for, I don't remember what the argument was for, but basically he said there were a few things that we needed, one of which being serialized prize cards. They have that in One Piece. All of the Luffy's, all of the winner cards, they're all serialized. You would think that a game that is 15, let's say like 16.
2 years.
There's a lot of sets. We've went far into it. Yeah.
2 years in, a lot of sets have released. And they're not releasing serialized cards. They'll probably never doing that. 3 years in Japan. Yeah,
we're going to 3 years.
Oh, we're going on 3, definitely 3 years in Japan. It's a long running card game, and they're not even looking at what One Piece is doing, seeing how successful it is, and saying, "Hey, maybe we should try that." And in the same vein, One Piece. The One Piece staff for Bandai, they're not even looking at Digimon and saying, "This worked, let's try this." Like,
it's 3 different interns.
So,
that's what it is.
Well, it's crazy because I was talking to Varni. Because Varni is One Piece now, and he's got some of the ults, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, "Oh, this is fire!" But they do their ults the same way Digimon did, like pre BT5, where they still have the border around them. Like,
it's so weird.
It's still a huge difference between Digimon and One Piece All Arts. Well, One Piece All Arts are trash compared to Digimon. Still,
there's no. They're not
I agree there.
You have artists like Sasai and Koki, and all these up and coming artists that they're using from the illustration competitions for Digimon. I don't see that. Like, I looked on the card. Maybe I'm blind. But I don't see like any artist credits. Like, I really don't think that they're putting that much. Like, obviously somebody is drawing it, but like not to the level that people were drawing it for Digimon.
Screenshots from the show.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, when I first saw it released, it looked like everything was just an anime screenshot.
Especially like regular art cards. The regular art cards are definitely screenshots from the show.
I was like, oh, this is
the manga.
Yeah, for real. And I'm sorry, but like, it's like early days of Digimon where cards are like inflated prices. I'm not paying thousands of dollars for these alt art cards, and they aren't nearly as fire as the alt arts I'm getting in Digimon.
Bro, that's another problem with Bandai. Like, you would think that they looked at Digimon. All right, like, I love Digimon, but let's be real.
I love Digimon.
Digimon is a franchise you look at and be like, damn, I don't know if people are gonna buy that. One Piece? Tell me you underestimated the fandom of One Piece without telling me you underestimated the fandom of One Piece.
No, I think they underestimated the English fan.
I think they did it in Japan
too.
And One Piece for US, I don't think is as big as others.
Remember,
for a fact.
we had We have
like the weakest One Piece fan base in the whole world.
But I was going to say, remember, we had this conversation. It's not just us in America, it's English speakers as a whole. So
I don't like the way you said that. That seemed kind of like that was like derogatory. Like,
it's all the dirty English speakers. It's not just us, the dirty Americans.
That English boy.
Oh my god, that came out of your mouth.
Nah, but like I know Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. At the bare minimum, those 3 Asian countries play the Japanese version of the game. And those are all countries, at the very least, I know Singapore because I have 2 Singaporean friends and they speak English. Their country speaks English as well as Chinese. I'm not sure about Malaysia and Indonesia, but regardless of what, like there's a few Asian countries that play the Japanese card game. The rest of the world plays the English card game, and you're telling me that you looked at this portion and you saw how popular it was. You see how popular One Piece as a franchise is in general. You look at the rest of the world and you don't think that maybe we should print just a little bit more product, especially for a set 1, just because, you know, it's gonna sell out. Like, it brings me into the topic of like,
I think it's a marketing tactic.
It must be a marketing tactic, right? Like, I said it on the last podcast that Bandai is a company and they'll do what benefits them, because I looked at Bandai with such a positive light during BT6, BT7 with those hits, because it was like, oh, cool. Like you're showing action. You're going to hit these cards that are obviously problem cards, but you're not going to hit it before we get them. You're going to allow us the entire format to play with them.
Yep.
That was like godly in my eyes, especially like, you know, I never played Yu-Gi-Oh competitively. So realistically, like outside, I'm not going to count Bushiroad because Bushiroad's a shit company. I'll say it. Bushiroad's a shit company. So Bandai and Digimon was my first real card game. Well, okay, Card Fight was, but again, Bandai and Digimon was my first real card game. And so them doing that really made me look at them and be like, wow, like, this is a company that really cares. They listen, they do things. It's not dickish. Like, this is really cool. And then BT 10 comes around and we buy the case and we buy the alts and the pre-release stamps, and before the first event even happens, Cross 4 is hit.
Yeah.
Sunrise Buster is hit. Sunrise Buster, okay, fine, whatever. That's a BT9 card. But you're gonna hit Cross 4? The card we just got? Bro, we even had a whole format. That was dirty. And like, that's what made me realize that, okay, gotta remember, Bandai's a business. They're gonna do what benefits them as a business. So you look at the stuff like the entire shit market that is the One Piece sealed market right now, and you see everything that happened when Digimon released in 2020, and it's dumb because Digimon released in COVID.
Yeah, we exactly. Had an excuse. They had an excuse.
Yeah,
there was an
exactly.
Excuse. And I think also, I think it is one of those things. I think I forget what card game made Transformers. That Transformers card, like where it comes
Wizards.
They made Wizards. They like over supposedly, I don't know like details or whatever. I had heard they had like overly like made like the first couple sets, and it did terrible in sales. And so now they're stuck. Like they went neg basically because they had made so much product try and push, but I guess they probably didn't do enough marketing. I don't know what the details.
Yeah, that's because WotC is the worst company ever, bro.
Yeah.
They are releasing sets so fast. It's disgusting.
I can imagine that like maybe Bandai's idea was like, let's test this out. Let's make a certain amount, not over too much, not maybe a little too less on the side, and see how well it sells, and then go from there. And then when they realize if it's going good for them, then they're going, you know, next future sets whenever they do. I don't follow One Piece at all, nor do I care about it. I'm sure you're going to start seeing. I only care because you MFers play, all right? So I only pay attention to that, okay? So I'm sure like future sets set where y'all set 2 now, right? One Piece set 2 now. That just dropped.
Set 2 in English, set 3 in Japan.
So I wouldn't be surprised by like set 5 is going to be like a abundance of product, and then they're going to reprint set 1 and 2 again, like how they did for us for set 1.0 and 1.5. I'm sure like that will eventually happen.
I don't know. I really feel like it's a marketing tactic. I feel like they're doing this for the first couple sets, like Dan said. I think it's to capture the collectors that are buying into resell or buying into store some value.
Possible.
And then, you know, later on after they got enough interest, fake interest. Now we'll go ahead and put out more product to get more people into the game, which won't necessarily keep people in the game, but all those collectors and people that bought heavy will just start to fall off.
That's a fair point. I didn't think about that.
No, that's true. Definitely.
I was talking to somebody. They play One Piece now. I was playing in a luxury tournament, and they were saying that they played Digimon in the beginning, but they got out because of how difficult it was to get product. I'm not gonna lie, I looked at them and I was like, "But you play fucking One Piece?"
Yeah, like what? Come on, bro.
But that's besides the point. We ain't gonna talk about that. All I'll say to that point is, look, I don't want to cut on nobody. So if you ain't got nothing nice to say, you don't say it at all. All I'm gonna say is that it can be hard to come by product. If you feel that you need to buy sealed product to play the game, I don't think you should be playing the game at all, because obviously it shows that you can't make the right decisions to buy singles.
Agreed.
I can build a tier 1 green deck in One Piece right now. And the most expensive card in that deck. Oh, I lied. There is no most expensive. Well, yeah. So the most expensive card is 1 super rare, because I think that's all the deck runs, really. You only need 1 super rare to realistically run that deck. And that card is maybe like $8 to $10. So you buy a playset, and you don't even play a playset sometimes, but you buy a playset that's $10 each. You buy some other staples that might be $2 to $3 just because they come from the starter decks, and starter decks are hard to find. You'll build the deck for less than $150. That's the same argument that we make in Digimon, that you can build tier 1 Digimon decks for less than $150. Yeah. So if you think that, oh, I can't play the game because this card's so expensive, no, it's because the deck you want to play is fucking expensive, okay? You want to play expensive ass fucking Zoro with let me not get into a rant about One Piece here, but Zoro is the most expensive SR, I believe, in One Piece right now at maybe $20 to $30 a pop. So a playset of that runs you $120, and some of the other staples also run you about $10. But you're still gonna build a tier 1 One Piece deck for less than $250, maybe $300. Llance, how much are Yu-Gi-Oh tier 1 decks?
Yo,
I was right. That's what I was about to go. I was about to say that's chump cheap to Yu-Gi-Oh, boy.
Bro, the cheapest deck in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, only because they just released it, is Trap Tricks, which is the starters slapped together and a few cards. But outside of Trap Tricks, the cheapest deck I've seen is like $400 or $500.
It's all the staples you need that really racks up the price. Like,
yeah. And they're one of staples.
I don't play that. Good that I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh IRL anymore.
I googled it because I was interested. The Rorono Zoro, he's like $2.30 you can get him for right now.
Zoro, super rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
really?
No
Are you thinking of
$250 boxes?
But like, you know what I'm saying, like just
buy
cheap
$250
stuff.
boxes for.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about One Piece prices, so I don't care about
the Zoro. Mike
is there multiple SR Zoros?
Yeah, there should be two. The one is $25, so it's $100 for a playset, which still isn't bad when you consider you're still going to build a deck for less than like $200. And I'm sorry if you're a budget player. I'm sorry that that's expensive for you. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I don't know. I've never cared about deck prices. I mean, I used to play Magic, bro. Like, y'all don't even know what it's like to play Magic. I don't even want to hear it. Y'all don't understand what it's like to try and play a rotating format, you know, where my cards become worthless one day, but then the next day I have a card that's worth $100 because it's back in the form. Like, y'all don't understand. Or like when I'm playing Eternal formats and like the buy-in for a deck is a minimum like $5,000.
Bruh.
Come on, man.
Y'all are wild. You and Mark.
My soul.
You and Mark are wild. Yo, Mark had me buy this one card for him. I looked at the price of this card. I was like, Mark, what the fuck?
Yeah,
what are you doing, son?
Like, what?
And he was playing Commander. What is it? EDH?
Commander. Well, he's not playing. Let's get it clear. He's not playing Commander. Commander's the fun thing that, you know.
Oh, okay. So what is he playing?
I'll tell you what he plays. But Commander, we'll separate real quick. Okay. Commander's the fun game you play with your buddies over some beer. It's like, you know, you have a fun casual game. He plays something called competitive EDH, which is just Commander, but if you're just like hate everyone and you just want to you took a fun format and then made it competitive. That's exactly.
Oh my god!
So he just plays like the not fun version of Commander, basically.
That's wild.
It's like if you took.
But it was just like.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, go ahead. Dan.
It's like your Varni. You remember someone was who quit Digimon to play One Piece was like Digimon is way too expensive now. That's like, bro, what deck you told me that was that was way more expensive than One Piece? You're bugging. Just tell me you're bad at the game. You quit the game. That's all I got. That's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Listen, I ain't got nothing against people who can't afford the game. I understand we're all at different avenues in life, and you know, shit's hard for all of us out here. But listen. But
don't tell me Digimon's too expensive to play, because you could play any deck you really want for like less than $100, but not an issue. Yeah. All you gotta do is buy base art stuff, and you'll be all right. Some decks that I don't even care about that I want to play just because I enjoy playing, learn different types of decks. I had no problem just buying like regular SRs that's like $2-3 instead of like the alt art that's like 60 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like I only buy you'll be all right. That like I'm actually like maining. Like unless I care about the franchise for the format, like I'm not buying alts. Why?
Mm-hmm. Or they're just dumb cheap. I'm like, F it. I could buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll buy alts. I'll buy alts that are like $10 that like may not play, but I just bought it just because they're $10. It's like, all right, I'm gonna play this deck eventually, but like not right now. But this might go up later. So
yeah, exactly. Like any alts that I'll play now or the foreseeable future, I'll buy. All that other random.
No. See, bro,
I bought all the.
Mike, you and I, we have a problem.
Yeah,
the Trials of the Dragons deck.
Can't do that.
They were all like $3-4. Why not?
Yeah, no. See, I am $800 in the Mastemon right now. I don't even like the deck. But I'm 800. That deck is.
But if it's your favorite deck, so I don't blame you though. Like I was so set on getting 4 gold Masties, and then when I realized how hard it was to pull, bro, I opened 2 cases.
Bruh.
And I did not see any. I was like, yo, I can't.
I want to get the like 4 machine Digimons also, and I was just like, oh, this is depression.
Yeah, I was like, I'm good.
Like, I don't know what my issue is though. Like, I played Xamon a few times. I like the deck. It's max rarity.
Max rarity.
I don't know why. Like, I just a Shoutmon. Like, I love like Crossheart. I like Megazords. I like Gundams. Like, that's my jam. It's max rarity. It's max rarity.
Yo, honestly, Gallantmon is my most hated deck that I have, and it's max rarity. And like, you know, like I've been saying since EX2, I'm gonna take this deck apart. Because it's just I can't find a deck to put together to put in its place, like, and it just keeps getting new cards. Like, I'm like, yo, I hate this deck.
Hey, at least it'll be good next set. At least Gallantmon will be good next set.
Yeah,
ish.
You mean it's gonna suck dick to the other red decks?
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
I don't know what my issue is, bro. It's like I forget that I could just buy the normal rarity. Like when I like go and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to play this deck. I'm like, all right, I gotta spend $600. I was like, all right. Meanwhile, I could have just built it for $50, but I'm an asshole. Like, I don't know what my issue is.
Listen, I could play.
The problem. No, I know why, Mike. I know why. The problem is this game. They decided to make all arts of cards that didn't need all arts, like rookie Agumons, for example. Yeah. And they're just so fire that you had to spend the money to buy it.
I mean, shouts out to now what? The only common in the deck being Greymon X from BT9. Well, besides what? Blocker?
Yeah. No, I mean there's an all-art version. I mean, it's not shiny.
There's an all-art version.
But that's the issue now too. Like, bro, with Mastemon, like, yeah, there's commons in there, whatever. There's uncommons, but now they can all be foiled.
They all foiled.
Oh
so
my god!
Like,
they got
when I have a hand in Mastemon that doesn't have a foil on it, like there's a card in my hand, I'm like, let's get this disgusting thing away.
Yeah.
Wait. This man Mike bought 24 foil Venmons.
No, you did not.
I swear I did. I did right here. It's in this deck box right here, bro.
Bruh.
Like, I played this deck for like 3 hours total. What is alt? The entire deck. I don't know what's wrong with me, dude. I genuinely, like, I don't know why I'm the way I am. Like look, like, this is just foil Venmon after foil Venmon. The fusionizers are all foil. You can't even tell, bro, because there's options. And options look awful when they're foil, but the whole deck is foil. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I mean, fuck it. It was cheap enough. Like, that's what's good about the game, though, right? Like, it's cheap enough.
Like, I mean, it was really cheap. It looks really cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably gonna forget this deck exists. I already did.
I have no problem buying like base rate like the Venmons, but like the Galactimons, I bought the all arts ASAP. Like, yeah, because those shits are fire.
I have pre-release freaking Pride Memory Boost. I don't know why. I mean, I know
it's like $20. Sell that card.
It's because Dark Knightmon's my jam. That's why I got pre-release Pride Memory.
And Deeper Gate's never gonna be a bad deck. I don't care what anyone says. That's never gonna be a bad deck.
Oh, yo. All right. I get to flame somebody right now. So,
okay.
Somebody came in to. I heard that.
Oh boy.
D-Brigade was a bad deck because this person bricked with the deck in all of their matches and couldn't win anything. And I was like,
skill gap.
The fuck do you brick with D-Brigade?
That's a
you are running 20 rookies, 4 Pride Memory Boost, 2 to 3 Izzy, 3 Kazu, and some options.
Did he think the brick was having rookies? Is that what he
thought? Yo, that's how brick.
All these damn rookies.
It's like, damn, this shit fucking sucks.
I keep drawing all these rookies. This is garbage. What's going on here?
Bro, I was like, what do you mean you bricked? He was like, oh no, bro, it bricked on me. It's not a good deck. I was like, it's not a good deck for you because you a bad player. I didn't say all that because I'm not that mean in person.
You got it.
I mean, maybe I should be. Maybe I should be that mean in person. But
wait, is someone we know?
So yeah,
no.
So I agree with you, Lance. D-Brigade is not a bad deck in the hands of. Let's put it this way, right? you always see these rogue ass decks be topping, bro. Like there was some deck that placed in the Ultimate Cup recently that was like, oh wow, that deck really topped. Like, who would have thunk it? Because what it boils down to is, you know, NA, we're competitive in the US for our events. So they only like to play what is known to be good. They don't take chances. I'm playing what's good and that's it. I'm not going to try anything else. But you always have those handful of people that are like, you see, I understand that point, but here, have you heard about Green Hybrid?
Yeah.
Mario Mas, 16th place. This was over in Spain though, but 16th place over in Spain with Green Hybrid playing 3 Grandis, 4 Rhino Kabuteri, 2 Lamortmon, 3 Rapidmon. Bro's playing 2 Taiga, two of the new Taiga. He's playing a Ken. Of course, he's playing JP. He's playing 3 of the Suspend Izzy. Like, bro, you look at this deck, you're spicy. Like, you're like, it's spicy, but you're also like, bro, how did this top?
Yeah, like, what did you?
But he did it. What did you? He did it. 16th place. Like, also on that note, I had somebody, and this is it's not upsetting, but like, I have to highly disagree with this. You cannot discount another country or another region's tournament results.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Because they are A, not competitive, or B, because it was only a certain amount of players. I think that is very disrespectful to their player base. I think that is very just boneheaded of a view, because this comment is in relation to something I mentioned about the Greymon X hit. That obviously, and it was not about the protection.
Cup,
it was about the speed. And yeah,
I remember that. Yep.
There was a Black War Grey deck that topped, and they were playing 3 Greymon X.
No, it won.
That's it won.
Multi-cup.
And they were playing 3 Greymon X. Oh, sorry. 3 Greymon X, but they were also playing 4 Deltamon. And I made some comment. I don't remember what the comment I made was. But basically, it was about how Black War Grey still topped even without the Cool Boy and the X antibody, and that it's not about the protection on Greymon X, it's about the cost reduction.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And the one comment was that, well, Australia is not as competitive as NA, and they only had 160 players.
Man, who cares? It's still a 7-round event. It's a
7.
I was about to say they went to the grind for 7-8 rounds to get that first place. You must be doing something correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a corny ass statement.
Yeah, it's corny as hell, and it's not true.
Like, get out.
It's a mental strain. Like, some people are really good and they don't top because it's a mental strain. Like, straight up, they cannot go 7 to 8 rounds competitively and win out. It happens to me sometimes. I just get into the mindset and I'm like, damn, bro, I still got like 3 games left. Like, I don't know if I can do it. Like, it really is what it boils down to. It's a mindset and it's a skill, bro. So that was disrespectful. I just wanted to say that on that topic, though. That Greymon deck, I found out, didn't win because of the 3 Greymon X. They won because of the Deltamon, because of the Inheritable. Because the Inheritable is really good.
Yeah, against
Hydra.
Bloom matchup. Yep.
But the point still stands.
Kills 3K.
Yeah,
kills 3Ks. But the point still stands. The deck is going to take a hit in standard format because you are not digivolving for 0 on top of your Greymon. You are digivolving for a full 3 either into Deltamon if you choose to play it, or Greymon X. And if you don't play those, you are digivolving for a full 4 into your BT8 Metal Greymon, which is arguably the keystone of the deck. Because I'll tell you, if I don't see BT8 Metal Greymon on your stack and I see any other Metal Greymon, I ain't worried about it.
Yeah, it can't swing over your dudes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I ain't worried about it. But
the most important part of the whole deck is being able to swing over another stack unsuspended.
Exactly. So that's what's going to really be the test of time, you know, come standard format with Black or Grey. How are people going to adapt? Are they going to be playing the Deltamons? Are they going to go to running the Greymon X package because we just needed more protection? Blah, 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 blah. You don't need more protection. You have you dummy. But, you know, that's besides the point.
It's going to be interesting to see what people do with it. Like, you can't. Yep. We're in a place, right, that we can't necessarily net deck because we got kneecap mid format. So like, you can't see how Japan did it. No, there's none of that. Unless
because Japan didn't have to.
Isn't going to affect their worlds, the worlds that's happening. So it's literally going to be just everybody.
Oh yeah, I think that just wrapped up, didn't it?
I don't know. I saw a weird post saying somebody won worlds, and I'm like, I didn't actually see anything big about.
So they weren't live streaming them because I know the first half of the worlds happened like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be like editing it and then like producing it to make it look all nice and fancy.
Yeah. I think they did that last year.
Dropping it on Bandai's YouTube, I guess, or somebody. I don't know.
Oh, so did that dude from Spain actually win it?
I have no clue.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see a post about it.
I thought I saw a post that said somebody. It was a dude from Spain.
Let's go Spain.
The worlds, and I was like, "One worlds is over." I was like, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was really quiet.
Yeah, I really don't like, and this is another example. I really don't like how Bandai handles Worlds for us because DBS, they had a whole event for Worlds. They had what was it called? Battle Hour. And so it was an entire Dragon Ball convention with like Dragon Ball fighters and all that stuff. And I know you can't make a whole convention around it, but you can live stream it. Even if it's on Discord, you can live stream it.
That looks good.
You can get 8 people together on Discord and live stream the fucking event. If you're gonna fly everybody out to produce this event, you can damn sure live stream it, bro. Like,
they played World Live this time. They didn't do it like on.
I would assume.
From what I saw, PPG posted some like huge like from what I saw, George Machado that runs PPG, he posted pictures like Worlds for DBS looked insane. It was a big stage.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Digimon. Digimon again, like online, how it was last year.
I would assume that they're doing it in person, considering like what the stuff was. But yeah, it's entirely possible it's online. But the fact still stands that Bandai has way too much money, and they could definitely do a lot more, and they are not.
Agreed.
But yeah, the DBS was run. The Worlds for DBS was run phenomenally. They could definitely do that for Digimon, and it sucks that they are not.
Yeah.
So Bandai, if you're listening, do better. Also, Bandai, if you're listening, just one last topic before we end. The set release schedule. I see a lot of people complain about like, oh, we're releasing sets too fast, or oh, we're releasing sets too slow. I'm like, motherfucker, can you ever be pleased? Like, we really went from like, oh my goodness, the sets are coming out way too fast. We don't have enough time to, oh my goodness, there's like 3 months in between the sets. Like, Bandai needs to fix this. Listen. In the beginning of this game, COVID affected supply chains. COVID's still affecting some supply chains, but it's better now for sure. But like up until a good portion of last year, like COVID was still affecting shit. So getting product, people were arguing that like, oh my goodness, like, oh, that's what the guy said. It wasn't that product was hard to come by. He said the delays killed him. And I was like, the delays that were of no fault to Bandai. Like you can argue that as much as you want, but Llance, you're a truck driver.
Yeah.
So you're in the logistics side of things.
Yeah, it's just things happen. Shit happens. You can't like
there's nothing you can do. If you can't get it here, you can't get it here. What you want me to fly out to the middle of the ocean and scoop the packages up?
I got the plane. Yeah, I'm good with
it. Hey, yo, hop on my private plane real quick.
If I get to get the product first, that's me all day.
The only way they could truly rectify that is they'd have to ship out way in advance, and have these stores hold the product until, which is just insane to ask a store to do, right? Like, hey, we got all this money to put in your wallet, just let it burn there for an extra month. Like come on. So.
Yeah, it's so dumb. We're at a good point in the game. One Piece is one set behind because we just got OP2 here, and Japan's on OP3. So it's generally accepted that we're going to be like 1 to 2 sets behind in One Piece. As far as Digimon goes, they are on BT 13 and we are on BT 11. We have BT 12 EX4 before we get to BT 13. So for anybody complaining that like
we got Rising Wind.
Oh yeah, I can't forget Rising Wind. Yeah. So technically 3 sets, because Rising Wind we are getting basically the full Japanese version after everybody.
That's 4. 4 sets.
Is it 4 sets?
Well, yeah, which sucks because now it's gonna be so annoying to pull the cards I need.
Yeah, it's gonna be annoying as hell.
No, it's gonna be easier. I think.
I don't think I'm buying.
The ratios were all screwed up in Japan.
Yeah.
You're right.
But we'll see. We'll see if they fix it because Japan, they have the smaller boosters and smaller smaller packs.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that affects how they put the cards in. But
my faith in Bandai is near 0, buddy.
That's not unfounded.
Yeah.
So that's BT12 EX4 Rising Wind BT13.
And then right now, like usually, I feel like it's a little weird because normally by now we just saw some previews of the next set already. I think the only thing we've seen recently is the new training cards, and we saw some random promos.
Those are promos. Training cards are promos. We haven't seen anything for BT14 yet.
But nothing so the thing is, and we're supposed to be getting the starter decks too. Those just got leaked. So like I'm like, oh, is there gonna be?
But we haven't seen anything in the decks either.
Yeah.
For those.
Well, so I don't think that set is coming out for like another 2 months. Like I don't think that's coming out until May. So release or the spoilers typically come out like a month before or like 4 weeks before. So yeah, the spoilers for that should start basically in a week or two.
So their 13 is gonna last a little bit then.
Yes. Yeah.
Also in
about 3 months.
For the US, Rising Winds is releasing as 24 packs each in a booster box, 12 cards per pack.
So standard US size. Or standard English size.
Standard boxes for us.
Yeah, that might be a single set for me because all I want is the Gamamon cards. Like,
agreed.
Same.
Which I mean, in a way, it's nice, right? Because like a lot of the newer people and people who complained about how expensive Digimon was, they're going to be buying that set because they're going to get their cheap cards now. So it'll make the prices of the Gamamon stuff cheaper, maybe. But
I do like some of those old arts they did for like the memory boost.
They are
oh my goodness, yes.
Those do look good, yeah. Those do look good. Not enough for me to buy the set sealed, but
I'll probably still buy like a box or two, but I'm not going ham on it.
Yeah. But I'm not case splitting.
It's like EX sets, I usually get like maybe 6 boxes, and then it's the mainline sets I usually get like a bunch, but Rising Wind, that's looking like a 2 box or something. Like maybe like
I honestly just started buying singles because like I said earlier, I'm a monster and I just always buy alt arts. So like there's literally not a point in me buying boxes or doing case splits because if I do a case split, I'm gonna end up spending an extra like $1,000 on top of the $400 I just spent splitting a case. Like there's just no reason for me to.
Yeah.
Definitely, and that's a big thing. But just to wrap it up, the set release schedule right now for Digimon is actually at a good point, believe it or not, for anybody who's listening out there.
Agreed.
We are just 1 extra set, or technically 2 extra sets behind, and 1 main set behind. So, I get 2, considering that they're on 13, but we'll always be behind that. The most we'd ever get up to is being 1 set behind them, but I don't think that's feasible for Bandai at this point.
No, that's not happening at all.
So
that's why I think at this point we should have 2 different ban lists.
I also agree with that.
I think that would work. I think that would work. Yeah.
2 different ban lists is definitely the move.
I think we really need like a Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, OCG type of ban list going on.
Just because they're too far ahead. They're just too far ahead.
Yeah, you can tell they don't give 2 Fs about our like meta.
Yeah.
But with their bans, that Greymon X ban to me shows like they don't care about our meta.
Because I was
Melga was running around.
I was sure freaking promo Akuamon or Akuamon X was getting hit, and where Garurumon X, I thought one of those was getting hit too.
Yeah.
Like, nah, like no, okay, okay,
nope.
The ban list that never was.
Yeah.
That's what the episode is called.
The singular.
Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. As our last parting words, if y'all don't follow Llance on YouTube, you should go follow his YouTube, Giratina's Gaming. He doesn't do content too often, but he does have a video from 3 weeks ago because was it teammate or friend?
Yeah, he's my teammate and friend. You guys met him.
Teammate
Cliff.
and friend.
Yeah,
seventh place U4, baby.
7th place All Force at Nationals. He has that video up there.
When I tell you, me and him play tested that Black or Gray matchup so much, like he killed it. He killed it. He only played.
Oh
it
yeah,
definitely.
Like he lost the I think the first time he played it. It was either the first or the second time he played it, but it was just like, man, like that dude, he is an insane blue player. Insane. Like.
And that just shows, right? That just shows that.
Dan Vang bet him. So, like, Dan Vang's one of our homies. Dan Vang bet him a steak dinner if he was the top 32 with All Force. And this was like a month before Nats. And he got 7th place on Twitch. Like, come on, man.
I got me 2 steaks.
That's fire. That steak by Dan Vang, I'll take that, bro.
Yo, that's I don't know if you heard the one pod. That's Mike's idol right there, Dan Vang.
I love Dan Vang. That's the Imperial GOAT, bro.
Dan's a cool dude, man. He's so chill, man. He's cool as hell.
But yeah, so drop him a follow on YouTube. Check out that video because Cliff it just shows that no matter what deck you play, if you're a good players do good things, is what it boils down to at the end of the day. So check that out, drop him a follow. As for us, again, go to our page on Spotify if you're listening to this as a podcast on Spotify or Google Podcasts or Apple, or just look for us on YouTube. You'll find us. We're all DigiGuard United now. Join the Discord, follow us on Twitter, do all that fun stuff so you know when we go live. The next episode that we record, we maybe will go live with. We're not sure yet. We'll see when we record it. But that is going to call it an episode for today. So until we talk to you guys the next time, peace out.
Catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.